right, so once again, BCG Geeks covering Comicpalooza, and we're with Archie's artist, Morning Glory's artist, Jughead artist, Joe Eisma. Joe, how you doing, man?
I'm doing well, thank you.
All right, so Jason, you want to take the first question?
Yeah, what really got you into drawing comics?
I always drew, even when I was like in elementary school. I would finish my worksheets, whatever, immediately flip them over and draw like the crappiest Transformer you ever saw. But like I was just always drawing, and I just always liked it. So I would get comics even before I learned to read, and just look at the art. So it was just something that always appealed to me.
That's cool. Maybe you can draw some Transformers comics now, man.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I always tell people, like, if they want to commission me, like, please don't ask for Transformers because there's too many straight lines, and I don't want to draw the straight lines.
That is true. That is true.
Now, your Instagram it's what? Super Joe, right? Okay, so Super Joe, I follow you. I see a lot of your commissions. Which character do you love drawing the most outside of? Because you do Archie, obviously, but what's outside of the Archieverse is your favorite character to draw?
I always like drawing female characters. I like Batgirl. She's probably one of my favorites, especially the new design that they did a few years ago. That's just killer. That one, or any of the X-Men characters, because I'm always a huge X-Men fan.
Which generation?
Well, I got in at the late 80s when Silvestri was drawing, so that's my stuff, but I probably like the biggest geek for Rachel Summers, because Excalibur is probably my favorite comic of all time.
Okay.
So Rachel is like way up there for me.
Okay. So I gotta ask, is your Twitter handler, your Instagram handler, your Facebook, are you a Bionic Commando fan?
Bionic? Oh, well, back in the day I played it a few times, but it's not one of my go-to franchises.
Yeah, because I see Super Joe. I was like, okay, Bionic Commando.
Right. Well, it kind of just stems from like needing to have a brand, and
That's true.
That was just one thing that I just came up with, and then I bought like the domain name, and I parked that domain, and I'm keeping it because it's so associated with me now, so I can't get rid of it.
With Morning Glories and Nick Spencer, who came up with the idea for that first? Was it you or was it Nick?
Oh, it's always me. No, Nick actually approached me years ago. We were both on Brian Michael Bendis' message board, and we were both nobodies back then, and he just liked my art, sent me a message saying, would you like to read my scripts? I think you'd be good for it. And that's kind of where it started. He said that kind of like in a fever dream, he wrote it one night while he was living at home, and the whole first issue he wrote out in one night, and everything just kind of developed from there.
Now, do you have anything planned else for Nick Spencer, or are y'all just... What do y'all got next?
We keep talking about resurrecting Morning Glories here and there, but he's pretty busy. He just took over Spider-Man.
Yeah, with Ryan Otley, who's here.
Yep, yeah. So he's pretty. I check in with him every once in a while, and he's like, as soon as my schedule clears up, we're going to do some more. Because I've always told him I'm ready to go as soon as he is. So yeah.
Nice.
What is your dream series or dream project that you like to work on?
Excalibur. Well, X-Men is probably like my dream franchise. That's my holy grail or whatever. That's the thing that I want to get to and do. And I really want to get back and do more creator-owned stuff. I've got a couple ideas in development, and it's just a matter of finding time to flesh those out and get them ready to take to publishers.
Did you hear that, Marvel? Get this guy on an X-Men book or revive Excalibur.
Now, I love an Excalibur book.
Yeah,
it was great.
Nightcrawler. Hey, as long as Nightcrawler's there.
Nightcrawler, Shadowcat, and Captain Britain. There we go.
Maybe even Phantom X.
That'd be kind of cool. All right, so you're doing the Archies now, which is like the Archies in like every like popular or legendary band, so to speak. Where'd that come from?
That just came from Alex Segura, who is now co-president of Archie Comics. He and Matthew Rosenberg, I guess, developed this series. They had done Archie Meets Ramones a few years ago.
I was in San Antonio when that launched, and I read it, and it's great.
Yeah. So they wanted to do more, and they kind of did like a pilot season of new books. They launched Archie's, they did Jughead the Hunger around the same time, and we did the one shot, and it sold successfully enough that we ended up doing an ongoing. And the big hook of that was that we would have a band every issue guest star.
Now, how does that work? Do you have to pay for the rights for the likenesses, or what?
No, I mean, as far as I know, like I wasn't privy to all that, the admin stuff, because
gotcha.
Alex and they set that up. But I don't think it really. I think it was more like they saw it as free publicity. So the only thing that we did was I would sometimes do sketches in advance so that the bands could see that I could represent them and not make them look like trolls or something. And Churches was great about it. Lauren, the singer, made my art her avatar for a while, and I was like, wow, that's pretty cool.
Because y'all have what? Churches, Blondie.
Yep.
Who else have y'all had?
We had the Monkees and Tegan and Sarah.
That's
and,
right.
Those were the big ones that we had. Yeah.
Okay.
Will you be having Metallica? Or, for all the rock guys, I'm a rock guy, rap guy myself.
Yeah.
We can have, Jay-Z,
right.
so like Metallica or even Motley Crue.
Archie's meet Metallica. That'd be a fun behind the story.
That would be. I mean, I remember the first real Archie crossover that I bought as a kid was Archie meets the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's classic. We actually wrapped the series recently. It's ended at issue 7, but I think if the fans are there and they want to do more, we may come back as like one shots or whatever. Yeah. I have always been pursuing Baby Metal. I think Baby Metal and Archie's would be hilarious, just because I don't know. I'm a big fan. I love the clash of death metal with J-pop. I don't know. I think it's hilarious.
Oh yeah.
So I think having Matt Rosenberg and Alex Segura have to write this band, running around with the Archies, I think would be hilarious.
Actually, that would be pretty badass.
Have you met any of the cast of Riverdale yet?
I met Madeline Petch, who plays Cheryl Blossom.
Yes.
She was at a show that I was at in Dallas, and super sweet. It was kind of intimidating to meet her because I was like, she's so evil on the show. And I was like, she's completely like the sweetest person ever. And she came down to the floor after I met her and was all incognito, had her hoodie on and everything, and wanted to come check out my art. So it was I don't know, she was really cool. I'm hoping I can meet more of them.
Yeah, I met what's his name, Cole. I think it's Cole Sprouse.
Yeah, Cole Sprouse.
Yeah, Cole Sprouse. I met him at the SDCC when he and I were there last year.
Yeah.
So they were walking around. I got to meet Luke Perry for the for the first time. I mean, and I had on a wrestling shirt, and his son is a professional wrestler.
Oh,
so
wow.
got to meet him. Got to see Betty and Archie and everything.
Yeah.
And I was like, that kid looks like Archie Andrews. Is he cosplaying or is he a friend? And and all of a sudden, and then all of a sudden see Riverdale. I'm like, oh shit, I completely missed it.
Yeah.
All right, so final question for me. Favorite artist that that inspired you, and what writer would you love to work with next?
My favorite artist it changes all the time. But I think probably my current favorite, the guy who's probably making the most impact on me, is it's a Japanese artist, Inio Asano.
Okay.
He did a book called Solanin, and it's about a band, an indie band, but it's more than that. It's kind of like I don't want to spoil it, but it's a very true to life kind of experience type thing, and his art is incredibly detailed, and the storytelling within his art is just stunning, and it takes my breath away every time I see it. Writers I want to work with, I always tease him, but Donnie Cates is up there. I've known Donnie for a while, and I keep telling him, write me something, dude. So yeah, Donnie, and Grant Morrison is kind of like bucket list, but I'm sure I'm not even a blip on his radar.
Hey, you never know. Man. You never know, dude.
There's always like that. You're like, oh, there we go.
And I've met him twice. I mean, he's you can tell. I mean, it's like hey, Grant Morrison.
Yeah.
It's like oh, hey, man. He's just kind of matter of fact about everything. So
yeah, that's cool.
Well, I've got nothing else. Jason, you good?
How are you enjoying the con?
There you go.
No, I'm loving it. It's been a couple years since I've been, and the show is running so much better than it has, and it seems like the crowd is better, and I don't know. Everything just seems better than the last time I was here. So,
I think a lot of the big cons like SDCC, because he and I have been talking about it. We're not going to go this year unless something changes. But I mean, just how to put it lightly, it's not run very well.
Yeah.
And you have all these panels and everything. People are lining up night before.
Yeah.
I think that they need to have it to where you sign up for stuff.
Oh yeah.
So then you just get in line, first come first served, and cap it off at a certain attendance number.
That's
But
right.
Comicpalooza, the smaller cons are always going to be run fairly well because it's smaller number of people.
Yeah.
All right. And with that, Joe, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
And this has been Bayou City Geeks Comicpalooza edition.